Imagine a place so empty that even darkness feels crowded. Right now, there's a region in the universe where you could travel for hundreds of millions of light years and never encounter a single civilization, planet, or star. It sounds impossible, but it exists. Astronomers call it the Boötes Void. And the strangest part? You've been looking at it your entire life without realizing it. Somewhere between the Big Dipper and the bright star Arcturus lies a colossal cosmic gap, a hole so vast that it challenges everything we think we know about the universe. But here's the question: what would happen if you actually fell into it? The journey alone feels unreal. The Boötes Void is about 700 million light-years away. Even light itself would need 700 million years to get there. That's roughly the same amount of time it took life on Earth to evolve from primitive sea creatures into humans. And that's where things start getting weird. Even if you somehow possessed a futuristic ship capable of traveling near light speed, reaching the void would mean leaving behind everything familiar. First, the planets disappear. Then the sun becomes just another star. Eventually, even the Milky Way fades into the distance. What happens next changes everything. The deeper you travel, the emptier the sky becomes. Galaxies that once filled the cosmos shrink into faint smudges. Then those vanish too. At some point, you would realize something terrifying. You're heading toward a place where the universe itself seems to stop. No glowing nebulae. No star clusters. No cosmic landmarks. Just an ocean of nothingness stretching farther than the human mind can comfortably imagine. But that's not even the craziest part. When you finally arrive at the edge of the Boötes Void, you're still nowhere near the center. The void itself spans roughly 330 million light-years across. To cross just half of it at light speed would require 165 million years. And that's when a disturbing question appears. Why would a universe overflowing with trillions of stars create a region that contains almost none at all? At first, you might expect the Boötes Void to behave like a giant cosmic pit. But here's the strange part. There's no edge, no wall, no dramatic drop. You simply drift into emptiness. Imagine stepping outside your spacecraft in the middle of the void. Instantly, every direction looks exactly the same. Not because you're surrounded by stars, because you're surrounded by almost nothing. The nearest galaxies would be so unimaginably far away that your eyes couldn't detect them. To a human observer, the universe would appear completely black. Not dark, black. The kind of blackness that erases orientation itself. And this is where it gets weird. Without visible reference points, you couldn't even tell whether you were moving. Your brain depends on landmarks to understand motion. Remove every landmark, and reality becomes unsettlingly uncertain. Up loses meaning. Down disappears. Distance becomes impossible to judge. You would float through an endless cosmic abyss with no way of knowing where you are. But how did scientists discover a place defined by absence? The answer begins in the 1970s. Astronomers were building three-dimensional maps of distant galaxies when they noticed something impossible. Huge numbers of galaxies appeared clustered around a gigantic spherical region that seemed almost empty. It was as if somebody had erased a piece of the universe. At first, researchers thought they had made a mistake. But they hadn't. The void was real. And the more scientists studied the cosmos, the more surprising the truth became. The universe isn't arranged evenly. Instead, galaxies form enormous interconnected filaments known as the cosmic web. Think of a vast network of glowing strands stretching across space. Then imagine giant bubbles between those strands. Those bubbles are cosmic voids. And here comes the twist. The Boötes Void isn't a flaw in the universe. It's actually a consequence of gravity itself. The same force holding your feet to Earth may be responsible for creating the largest known region of emptiness in existence. But if gravity builds the void, what is it slowly turning the universe into? For billions of years, gravity has been pulling matter together. Galaxies attract galaxies. Clusters attract clusters. Dense regions become denser. And empty regions become emptier. The result is a universe that resembles cosmic foam, vast walls of matter surrounding enormous bubbles of near-nothingness. And that leads to a shocking revelation. Scientists estimate that voids make up roughly 80% of the universe. Think about that. Everything humanity has ever seen, every star, planet, moon, galaxy, black hole, and civilization may occupy only a tiny fraction of cosmic reality. Most of existence is emptiness. But that's not even the craziest part. The Boötes Void, the largest known void ever discovered, isn't completely empty. Hidden within its enormous darkness are around 60 lonely galaxies. 60. Inside a region so gigantic that finding one would be like searching for a handful of goldfish scattered across the Pacific Ocean. And that's when the story takes its biggest twist. The greatest nothing in the universe isn't actually nothing. It contains just enough structure to remind us how truly vast space really is. Imagine floating there forever. No stars above. No stars below. No sounds. No horizons. No indication that anyone else has ever existed. Only silence stretching across millions of light years. Would it be terrifying? Or strangely peaceful? Because in the end, the Boötes Void reveals something unsettling about the universe. The greatest mystery may not be what fills space. It may be what doesn't. And if 80% of the cosmos is made of these immense voids, then what else could be hiding inside regions we still call empty?